So this is a later one. We're talking about the heart of the matter today. We've recently just finished up with the Therapists in Conversation monthly magazine episode. We were talking about, I started off with the quote of Carlos Castaneda about choosing a path with heart. Shamanically, we see through our heart. Our heart is open to see through. Having the eyes to see is one thing. Having the will to do is another. There's another old adage, particularly for magic, which is to know, to will, to dare, and to be silent. Being silent doesn't really help when you're doing lives like these, but it's not about just closing your mouth and not saying anything. There's much wisdom in silence. There's much to learn there too. There are times when words are great things to have, but they're not the only way to connect. When you're connecting with your heart, and not just connecting to another with your heart, to their heart perhaps, but connecting with your own heart, silence is usually the place to be, the state of being that will allow this connection to take place. Many people don't like to stay in silence. Some people find meditation quite difficult because it's got to do with the silence. We have a world full of noise, absolutely full of background noise, all different kinds of noises. And we use that to distract ourselves from silence. How many times do we see people sitting together in comfortable silence and think to ourselves, don't they have anything to say to one another? Are they done? Maybe they're saying plenty to each other, just in a different way. Heart to heart, instead of mouth to ear. The subject tonight was more to do with how we can pay lip service to an idea, something we feel that we are responsible, that we have to be doing, responsible for our own well-being. Sometimes, as Burns would say, there's many a slip. It's easy enough to say all the right things. It's really difficult to do them. Not just because they are difficult things to do. They're not really on the face of it. It's the ecology behind it. It's that wondering as to whether or not it's the right thing for you. What does it mean? What are you going to have to do? What's going to have to change? Who am I going to be on the other side of that fence? That thing, that issue? And don't I kind of know where I am in this place of familiarity but discomfort? I don't know who I am on the other side of that. This is a disconnect. And we talked a little bit about disembodiment too, about not being in ourselves, being part of ourselves, being totally connected, spirit and soul, to flesh and bone. Shamanically, we recognize all states of being. It's almost like being in superposition. We can see and understand and deal with all the states of being at one time. And we can take ourselves out of those states of being quite easily. There are occasions when it gets a little bit addictive to not be in the body, particularly if the body is racked with pain. And we spoke a little bit about medicine and about how some doctors, not all, but some of them, are so overwhelmed with the teams of people with depression and anxiety whose expectations are, I go, I sit in the chair, I say a few words and they give me pills. And then that makes me feel better until I have to go back, sit in the chair, say a few words and get some more pills. Some doctors are coming alive to the idea of being able to send their clients out, their patients out, for a forest bath, the Japanese way of walking and being in the forest and being connected to the space that you're in, allowing that connection to suffuse you full of peace and serenity. There are many, many ways to help to heal ourselves, more than can be found within the confines of a pill. I'll see you sometime tomorrow. Sleep well, take care, be well, be blessed, be loved.